Inland Sports.
Well, the boys' tennis brackets are out. We're going to check in with the Riverside Poly Bears. And that's where we lead off this episode right now. Let's go with head coach Nick Meteljan, a couple of his star Bears as well. And congrats, guys, on a Ivy League championship. And, Coach, I'm going to start with you. We got Connor Julian and Dalton Adcock as well in just a moment. But, Coach Meteljan, congrats on a league title. And I know those are great, and you hang league banners up in the gym and stuff. But for you guys, do you feel like, man, you know, what's the end of the season going to look like? Can we string together a couple wins, beginning with Etiwanda, and maybe have a CIF banner at the end of all this? How's the season been for you, Coach?
It's been another fantastic season. Just thanks for having me on. I saw in your pregame that there wasn't a lot of tennis shots on there, so bringing the tennis, playoffs and a tennis coach on with my players, we really appreciate it. We had a fantastic season. We ended up undefeated in league, and that's what the season's getting ready for. You have your non-league matches to prepare for the league, and then your league matches, and then you hopefully make it to the playoffs, and then try to do the best you can and see what kind of run you can make.
So, Coach, again, I'm not a tennis expert, but how would you compare the caliber of level in the Ivy League for boys tennis to what you might see in Division III for the postseason?
Well, it basically comes down to how many players you have that play tournaments throughout the year. And they have a rating system, what's called in tennis is a UTR rating system. And, for our team, we don't have a lot of high UTR players. But if you run into a team that does have a lot of high UTR players, those teams are going to be difficult to beat because that system's very strong in showing what level everyone's at. If you look in the playoff draws in Division I, a lot of those teams are going to have multiple high UTR players on them. And then as you go down each division, you have fewer and fewer. And so, again, it's just based on what kind of draw you get and what you run into.
Well, Coach, let me check in with some of your guys as well. I'll start with Dalton Adcock because he's a 4-year varsity guy for you with the Riverside Poly Bears, team captain. And Dalton, when you look at this season, how much fun has it been? And of course, winning is fun, and the Ivy League championship is great. But what was how much fun are you having? But what were your goals going into the season for this Riverside Poly team?
Yeah, it's been an amazing season. I really enjoy the team this year. We have a very well-rounded team. We have some higher peaks in varsity, but I actually think our team goes deeper this year than it has in years past. So I really enjoyed that, and I think. Of course, the goal is to win league, but I'd say maybe making it past semis this year in CIF would be a good mark for us.
Dalton, what are practices like? Because when you practice against great competition, against some of your own guys, of course, how has that prepared you to see some, really good teams in the playoffs?
Yeah, practice is great. I feel like the thing that helps me the most is practice matches against my teammates, especially against some of the higher ranked players on our team. Match experience is definitely very key to playing tennis because a lot of it's very mental, and getting that one-on-one experience is perfect for especially postseason pressure.
All right, Dalton, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask, does your dad give you any advice? I know he's a baseball guy and this is tennis, and that's totally different, but just in terms of you competing, like you said, a lot of this can be mental about just competing and having the right mindset maybe going into a big match.
He does. He gives me plenty of advice on strategy, especially the mental side of things. And believe it or not, he actually plays tennis sometimes. We used to play matches when I was younger, and he was actually not bad. He had a decent slice.
Not bad, but you're better, right?
Yeah.
Of course, right?
He can throw the ball faster than me, but I can hit a serve faster. So it trades off.
Good answer. I like that. Connor Julian, just a sophomore down there, and he's rocking the Riverside Poly orange. Almost like, I don't know, do you have like orange lighting on purpose, or is it just the time of day we're doing this interview, Connor?
No, I had to set it up how I needed it. I put on the orange just for this interview. I had to rep all poly. Oh, I should have made it green. Then it'd be green and orange. But it's all good. It's all good.
Well, Connor, you are looking good and playing well as well. I know you're dominating in the world of doubles. How is singles and doubles different in terms of the way you approach it? Obviously, your doubles partner, you guys got to be able to click. But how are the two games different?
They are very different games, I have to say. So as a doubles player, I have played both. When I was younger, I used to play a lot of more singles. But as doubles, I think one thing that's very much more important is communication. Because in singles, it's all in your head, and you have to make split decisions on your own, and there's no one but yourself. But in doubles, especially if you have a great teammate, which I do, his name's Matthew Grigsby, he's a freshman. If you have a great teammate, you can communicate well, then you can anticipate moves, and rather than like after you play for a while, I think it gets like second nature. Because once you develop that good relationship, then you can start making better and better plays, which will definitely benefit you a long way.
Connor, how did you get your start in tennis? I'm just curious because a lot of, maybe you grew up in a country club or you got a parent, who played tennis growing up, or maybe you just saw it on TV and you thought, Roger Federer was cool. Like, how did you get first introduced to the sport?
I'll be completely honest. I have a twin brother. He's also on the team. And he played tennis a year before me. And back when he started playing tennis, I was playing golf and I knew nothing about it. So once he started playing, I saw him and I was like, he sucks and I could be better. So
I hope he's watching this.
Playing. Yeah. So just, I have a competitive nature, you know what I'm saying? So I joined the sport, and I think it made it a lot easier because now we're both in tennis. We're both on the same team. It made it easier for my parents. And it's also fun because his name's Isaac. Isaac and I play doubles sometimes, and I think it's really fun.
Well, okay, that begs the question. Before I go back to Coach Meteljan, twins are supposed to have that extra connection, right? You can think what they're thinking before they even think it. But he's not your doubles partner.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. He has a good doubles partner too. I mean, even if we were to play good doubles, we're not like, we don't fight with each other. We don't yell at each other. I mean, stereotypical brothers, they do all that. But I mean, we're not like that. But I mean, that's a message to my coach. I mean, if you can, you feel what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely open to play with my brother. I mean, he's a great guy, a great player. And yeah.
You guys are hilarious. Let me go back to Coach on this one. Coach, this time of the year, as you go into the playoffs, I mean, how much coaching is taking place right now, and how much is just, hey, let's take the training wheels off. You guys know what to do. It's this late in the season, especially like for Dalton, who's been around the block. He's a senior, 4-year guy. Hey, guys, you know what? Let's just get the mind right. Let's get dialed in and focus, and let's see what happens.
Well, that's exactly it. When you get to this point, hopefully they've learned a lot. You've been training them all season long, like in Dalton's case for 4 years. Everything's going to get amped up for the playoffs. Everyone's going to be a little bit, nervous and pumped up. And I just try to make it as simple as possible. I just say, keep the game simple, take it one point at a time. I know it's cliche-ish, but, things can start happening really quickly. And we have a younger team. And that once you get out there and they don't know what to expect, I rely on like players like Dalton to, hey, just bring them back down, and hey, we know we're good, and we just got to go out there and play the best we can and see what happens.
All right, let's wrap it up like this, guys. I'm going to ask Dalton and Connor the same thing. Dalton, I'll start with you as the senior. Finish this sentence. The key to victory for Riverside Poly is blank. And not just against Etiwanda. Let's even think, the second round, semifinals, who knows? Like the key to victory for Riverside Poly is?
I would definitely say consistency, because we have a lot of nervous freshmen and we have a lot of upperclassmen who just want to win this. Like, they're almost too excited to win, if that makes sense. We're going for too many shots. We're getting maybe a little nervous because we are excited. It's our last year. And I think, if we could just pull the reins back a little bit and tap into that consistency, we can take this far.
Nice. Good work, Dalton. How about you, Connor?
I don't want to steal his name. That's a really good answer.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I'll say perseverance. Because a lot of the team, like as Dalton said, I mean, they're like gung ho, they're ready. Like, this is the playoffs. Like, it's a huge deal. But persevering, taking each point at a time, because it's not over till the point's over, and not getting ahead of yourself. Honestly, I mean, like I said, it all comes down to each point, and keeping your head in the moment will get you get you through the match. And I think if we do that, then it'll work good for us.
Listen, you guys are awesome. I really appreciate this. Coach, you're right. We don't do enough tennis on this show, but when you got a great team like Riverside Poly, we got to give you guys a little bit of love going into that big match against Etiwanda. So, Coach, I really appreciate the time.
Well, I appreciate you guys having us on, and good luck to all our Inland Empire teams heading to the playoffs.
You said it best, and it starts with the Bears. D3 Etiwanda on Wednesday. Win and advance. Coach Meteljan, Dalton Adcock, and Connor Julian here on the Inland Sports Show. Thanks so much, guys. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, too. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that's Riverside Poly boys tennis here on the Inland Sports Show.
Inland